Hello, welcome to JoyNews Today. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up, President John Dramani Mahama confident Ghana will soon have its first female president. We've moved from a high-level dialogue on gender at the AU summit in Ethiopia. Meanwhile, Vice President Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman has announced government will soon begin implementing a Women's Development Bank initiative to support women-owned businesses.
I can assure you that steps are far advanced to start the bank.
And as Valentine approaches, checks in Kumasi reveal sale of paraphernalia has dwindled, with many vendors anticipating last-minute trading.
It was better because I think this year bakers need also. So business compared to last year is a bit slow, but then anything.
While traders grapple with that, we take a look at love songs that have captured feelings and connected generations. These plus business, sports, world news and showbiz in this bulletin. Do stay. This afternoon, President John Dramani Mahama says he's confident Ghana will soon have its first female president. The president was speaking at a high-level dialogue on gender at the margins of the AU summit in Ethiopia. Explains that women empowerment is at the core of his socio-economic policies, which will deliver true development for the people. Ghana having made history with the election of its first female vice president, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. The president is confident that Ghana will soon have its first female president and a to advance gender equality.
As African Union champion for gender and development issues and champion for African Union financial institutions, I'm working to place gender equality at the center of government's economic planning and social policy. Ghana has achieved historic milestones, including, as our foreign minister said, the election for the first time of our first female vice president, Nana Opoku-Agyeman, an unprecedented representation of women across government, the judiciary, and other national institutions. I'm confident that sooner rather than later, a woman will occupy the highest office of president in Ghana.
Meanwhile, Vice President Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman has announced that government will soon begin the implementation of the Women's Development Bank initiative to support women-owned businesses. She says, though there have been claims that the bank's rollout has delayed, government does not intend to rush the process and will instead ensure progressive implementation process. That's more in the following report.
The Women's Development Bank is expected to be a game changer for many women, strengthening their businesses and easing access to loans. Amid concerns about lease and its rollout, Vice President Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman says the process is far advanced and the bank will soon become operational. She gave the assurance at the 65th end-of-year gathering and General Assembly of the Greater Accra Markets Association.
Some people have questioned the delay in rolling out the bank. I would have been happier if it had come earlier, but you need to take your time when doing anything properly. I can assure you that steps are far advanced to start the bank.
President of the Greater Accra Markets Association, Mercy Afrowa-Nijan, expressed gratitude to the Vice President for the initiative. However, she raised concerns that the refusal of some importers to reduce prices is negatively affecting market women.
We have seen the reduction in fuel prices and the improvement in the value of the cedi against the dollar. However, we are very worried that importers have refused to reduce prices of goods in the markets. And this is affecting our members and consumers.
Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Akulu assured the traders that government will look into the matter and engage the relevant stakeholders.
Going back to the table to see how best they will resolve that issues. And like you said, some people, that is what they told us, that they have previous goods that they've not sold yet. But the fact that you've not sold goods here doesn't mean that you cannot reduce the prices.
Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive Michael Alote also pledged to work relentlessly to ensure the city is decongested and made more business friendly.
I'm a young man. Your Excellency Dramani Mahama knows there's a time for a young man to shake Accra. So I'm here to make sure that shake will work. And you can see, since assuming office, I have never sat down. I'm not an office person. I'm always out there. So I'm training very well. I'm training very hard to make sure Accra will be fixed.
The engagement forms part of government's broader efforts to deepen collaboration with market leaders and ensure that policies aimed at empowering women and strengthening local businesses deliver real impact. For Joy News, Fatao Bayaga, Accra.
To the regions, now the Food and Drugs Authority has clamped down on unlabeled and registered diaper products on the whole market in the Poultry region. The exercise was aimed at cleaning the market of these counterfeit products that pose health threats to consumers who are basically children. There's more in the following report by Fred Kwame.
The Volta Regional FDA Director, Gordon Akurugu, led a team of officials from his outfit and the Ghana Police Service to undertake the exercise. With a strategic plan and concerted efforts, the team raided several shops, resulting in the identification and seizure of several suspected counterfeit diaper products. Brands confiscated include Santi, Amanda, Sayil, Forever Cotton, Maya, Smart, Jasper New, among others, which were found on the shelves in the market. Gordon Akurugu set the roadmap for identifying the direct source of the products.
The people we have picked the product from in whole market will be given to police for further interrogation for us to know where the products are coming from. It is important for us to establish where the products are coming from. They are just market women who probably have also gone somewhere and bought it. So we want to know where it is coming. You also bear with me, Volta region in particular is closer to the neighboring countries. So it is also possible that they're smuggling these things into the region, which we want to ascertain the source. And this is not just one day exercise, it's an exercise that has to continue. We've been doing it, but we just want to probably put emphasis on it that this is an important thing that will save life, because children are our future leaders and we think that they should not.
He also cautioned mothers to be vigilant when shopping for products for their children.
We control the import to ensure that the product coming in is safe, is efficacious and wholesome for use. And therefore, if it comes into the country and FDA is not aware, and we can't therefore guarantee the safety and quality. And the law is very clear on that. So if we see a product that is not registered in the market, it is against the law, and then you face the full records of the law. He is questioning everybody, a parent, a mother, to buy registered diapers in the country. They are there, you can see registered diapers. Most of them are in without label, but the registered one, you see label and see FDA number. And that is what we want every parent to do. Life of a child is important to Ghana and FDA.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News. Oh.
Traditional opinion leaders and youth of Wuchao traditional area have accused MP for the area, Peter Lanchini Tobu, of skewing development projects to the eastern corridor of the district. They allege he is taking a unilateral decision to site the 24-hour economy market to Poyintanga instead of Wuchao, which is the Wa West district capital. The Wa West MP Superintendent retired Peter Tobu has strenuously denied the allegations. Rafiq Salam reports.
The joint press conference by traditional authorities and youth of Wuchao was heavily attended by chiefs, queen mothers, and youth of the Wuchao traditional area, hinged on consultation, transparency, and balanced development in the Wa West district. Addressed by Wuchao Youth Association Secretary Mohamed Bondobo Bode. They claim that since the assumption of office of the West Member of Parliament, Superintendent retired Peter Lenchene Tubu, several major development decisions appear to have been taken with limited consultation. Traditional authorities, opinion leaders, and affected communities have not been adequately engaged in projects of district-wide importance. They cited the planned location of the 24-hour economy market at Puyentanga in the eastern corridor of the district, instead of which the West District capital without consulting the relevant stakeholders, particularly the chiefs and opinion leaders.
During an official visit to Wa, His Excellency, the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, stated clearly that the proposed 24-hour market must be located in a centrally accessible area within the district, specifically within Central Business District, to ensure inclusivity and shared economic benefit. This directive was consistent with earlier guidance issued by the Minister for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim. Despite this clarity, development on the ground suggests attempts to side the market in a manner inconsistent with the directive. We respectfully ask on what basis this decision was taken and which communities and traditional authorities were consulted before it.
They observed that there is a clear pattern of the siting and concentration of all development projects of the district in the eastern corridor of the district, who they raise red flags over.
The proposed 24-hour market, an intended modern daycare facility, and AstroTurf are all reported to be located at Puyentanga within the eastern corridor of the district. Meanwhile, the southern, central, northern, and western part of West District continue to receive no comparable project.
They concluded by commending Upper Social Minister Lawyer Charles Wongo Pozun for mediating in previous district disputes and appealed to him to intervene to prevent further division in the West District. Meanwhile, West Member of Parliament, Superintendent retired Peter Lenchene Tubu, has strenuously denied the allegations leveled against him.
People are alleging that the President has directed that they should be located in district capitals, but that is not true. If you go to Lambuse, for instance, everybody knows that the Lambute district, Hamele, is strategically located. And they've situated the market in Hamele. If you come to our West district, everybody knows that if the big push work as they've started working, along the road between Kumasi and Wa, these are major towns, major markets. Puyentanga is a major market. And if you ask the DC, he will tell you the revenue generated from Puyentanga is so substantial for the district development. And it's strategically located. And in fact, it was a district assembly decision. There was no dissenting voice on the day that it was put to vote. At the executive committee level, they call it EZICO. They passed it. At the plenary, they passed it. There was not a single dissenting voice at the district assembly level.
There was District Chief Executive Richard Wulu, who was slammed together with the MP and accused of skewing development to the eastern corridor of the district, also has this response.
We'll be doing 2 chiefs compounds. We've already cut short for work to begin. One will be located at Gurumu Meti, one in Passe. These are far apart places. The Meti is under the Wichau Paramansi. Then the Passe is under Durumu Paramansi. Then we'll be doing a KG block in Tanina. Then we have a JHS block far away in Dabo. People who are conversant with the West district will know how these projects have been allocated. So all these things I have mentioned, it's only the KG block that is found within the Eastern Corridor Belt. The rest of the projects are not within the Eastern Corridor Belt.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Wichau.
Pressure Group Catchment Area Community Alliance is asking the Presidency and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for a more credible investor to take over the Bogoso Prestia mine in the western region. The group, representing host communities of Bogoso, Prestia, Hemai, Dumase, Bondae and in Nakava alleged that the current operator, Heath Goldfields Limited, secured its mining leases through deceit and misrepresentation. According to CACA, the mining leases were originally granted based on firm assurances that the company possessed immediate access to over $500 million in capital and the technical expertise to restart the Prestia underground operations.
At a news conference to press home their demands, the group, with support from the governing National Democratic Congress Prestia constituency chairman, reminded government of its 90-day ultimatum for Heath Goldfields to remedy the documented breaches of its mining leases. And with the deadline fast approaching, Kaka is urging the state not to allow the mine to collapse into another cycle of failure and job losses.
That Heath Goldfields Limited lacks the financial capacity required to operate the Bogoso mining leases. Heath Goldfields' commitment to fund underground dewatering, ventilation, equipment rehabilitation.
The alliance clarified it just wants the right things done to forestall any economic hardships.
The Bogoso Prestia mine is a strategic national asset and the economic lifeline of our communities. The mining leases were granted on the strength of assurances that Heath Goldfields Limited possessed strong financial backing, immediate access to capital over $500 million.
Kaka has vowed to resist any unsafe blasting activity that exposes residents to fly rock or structural damage.
Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Elizabeth Ofuswe-Jare has highlighted the potential of the garment industry to create massive employment opportunities. Speaking during a tour of North Shore Apparel's construction site in the northern region, she noted that the sector doesn't require a specific degree to work in, making it accessible to many. Martina Bugri reports.
The North Shore Apparel GH Limited is a Ghana-based clothing manufacturer that integrates sustainability into every aspect of its business. They are blending innovation with eco-friendly practices and fair labor standards to create sustainable fashion. The company is expected to produce garments for some international brands. Speaking to the media after the tour of the facility, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofuswe-Jare, hailed the company for the jobs it will create.
This year and the years ahead, the government of Excellency John Dramani Mahama is high on garments. This is because garments create a lot of jobs, and I keep on saying that it employs a group of people. It employs people with PhD, masters, first degree, and even those who didn't feel like going to school. Those who went to school and drop off. There is a space for everybody in the garment industry. This plant alone, if it's run 24 hours like they are planning, can hire tens of thousands of people. And this is the way to go.
She commended the company for providing various amenities for its workers.
I mean, whatever you see in India, you see in Germany, is what you see here. They've taken their time to do this very well. And I'm excited about the fact that at the end of the day, our young people, especially women, will find jobs. We all saw what they have at the hospital. They have a clinic here. They have a crèche to make sure that if you are a woman and you are pregnant, antenatals are held here. If you are a woman, you give birth, there's a crèche here for you to do breastfeeding. Even if you want to do exclusive, there is space for you to do that. And I think that this is a good, it's a good place. Anywhere you go and there is food, I mean, you can only be happy.
CEO of North Shore Apparel GH Limited, Nuruddin Mohammed, said phase 1 of the project is nearing completion.
We are building the first purpose-built apparel manufacturing facility in northern Ghana. So we are currently executing the phase 1 of the project. And the phase 1 of the project is to set up an apparel manufacturing unit that can be able to service global fashion brands and also be able to service the local apparel needs. So presently, the phase 1, we have been able to set up this the security block, which houses our clinic, our crèche, workers' locker rooms, training centers, offices for our security, and also for resident custom officers. We've also built a purpose-built administration facility, which would house the fabric library and then fabric laboratory. We'll do our testings here. Currently, there's none in the country. And we also have a 5,000 square meter production facility.
He revealed that over 70% of trainees at the facility are women.
Currently, we have pre-hire trainees of 2,300. Out of that 2,300, about 70 to 80% of them are women, and then 30 of them are deaf and dumb, hearing impaired, and some of other people have various forms of disabilities. So we're trying to build more in inclusion.
Government has set a target of producing over 7 million chicks under the Akokon Kiting Kiting project as it scales up the nationwide rollout of the initiative. National coordinator for the Feed Ghana program, government says the rollout of the Greater Accra chapter of the initiative forms part of efforts to boost local poultry production and reduce dependence on imported chicken while creating jobs across the value chain. Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu spoke at the authorization and distribution of a day-old chicks and some other materials for the project.
The Ministry of Agri to every beneficiary who is interested. So they bought the forms. We've inspected. There has even been a training for all the beneficiaries how to keep the birds, and they have technical support for every beneficiary within the district. And so we are going to ensure that first, the distribution is fair. We want to make sure that one person wouldn't take ownership of the and distribute to his or her family. No, we make sure that those that have registered, because it was everywhere, widely open, the forms were everywhere and every interested person bought it. And so we ensure that everybody who bought or filled the form, is benefited.
Any more questions?
Oh yes, they have task force aside the technical support who also be going around, to give them their support. In terms of how to take care of the birds, some of the things they have to use to ensure that the birds that are given to them live, because if you send it to and the bird dies, what's the essence? And so we make sure that sustainability is key. And so we make sure that we monitor closely. And at the end of the day, media, you're everywhere. You can even visit any of the districts or any of the beneficiaries to see how the birds are faring. So thank you.
Stephen Mensah is live on the grounds and joins us with more on this. Stephen, so how many farmers had access to this Akokon Kiting Kiting day-old chicks?
What you'll be seeing on the screen currently will be the regional minister's address to the apprentice currently. But I'm standing right close to the items that will be presented to these apprentices. And they are from all sectors or all regions or areas in this Greater Accra region currently. I'll get close to some of them and speak to them on what they make of the items we presented to them. I say, welcome to Joy News. Now maybe so I'll say, how is it going to impact you?
How is it going to impact? A very impact because as Kasa is down and Kulano what me train and most of them need equipment. And see getting this equipment it will encourage them to equip them for them to learn the skills also.
Where do you want to side today?
Me pama de o teshe anomentu.
Na ejuma mo to say e wo hono.
Ejuma mo boko, ejuma ba. Enkwa no so me train you odo mo niama na my but me used to also means me training Kulano because you do my best I also have to do my best to train them.
One kasada we receive training now we train Kulano.
My Enkulan kasa ba mama tro majuma mo and I send you mo so asaba.
Yeah, that's very. So that was one of the apprentice. She's an apprentice teacher and she's she's been giving us an explanation as how she's training the other people who will be under her care for the training under the apprenticeship program. But the Feed Ghana program director, the national director, has been talking to us about the impact the Feed Ghana program will be having on the nation. I'll try to get the reactions of more people. Good afternoon, welcome to Joy News.
Good afternoon.
So you are here today for the national apprenticeship program and the Feed Ghana program rollout. How is it going to impact you?
Yes, as I said, I'm a madam of myself at Pong.
Thank you very much. I want to stand.
They gave me 5 apprentices to train. So I'm coming to receive the things with my MC, the coordinating director, and then the procurement department. From there, we will send it to the assemblies. Then at appropriate time, they will give it to us to give it to the children. In fact, to train them. As I said, I'm a hairdresser in Pong, and I'm happy for this exercise that our President Dramani Mahama has given this opportunity to the young people in Ghana to be trained. I'll make sure I'll train them, and one day they also become a madam like me. And I'll pray for them to take good care of whatever they are going to give it to them, because this equipment that we are seeing is very expensive. If you want to buy one dryer and some of the equipment, it's not easy. So make sure we train them and then them to finish the exercise, and then they also open their shops in the name of the resetting agenda, and then to their various communities in Pong.
Have you received training yourself on this program and teaching others?
Yes, we were trained.
How long?
About 3 days program. We were trained to also be trained the children.
Thank you so much.
For that one,
so that was one other apprentice or
and I would like to thank my
herself who is telling us that she has received the training herself and she is equipped enough to teach others, but she's here to take the equipment that will be needed for the training of the other individuals who will be under her care. Not too long ago, the Minister for Youth Development arrived and he was giving us address. The member.
And that was Stephen Mensah giving us update from government's apprenticeship program. We'll bring you details of that in subsequent bulletins. Now, every morning in Ghana's Bono and Ahafo regions, thick smoke rises from thousands of kitchens, quietly filling homes, markets, and lungs. Women cook over firewood and charcoal, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. The smoke makes their eyes sting, their chest burn, and their children cough. Yet, just a short distance away, piles of sawdust, crop waste, and food scraps are burned and dumped as rubbish. Experts say this ignored waste could power clean cooking projects and protect forests and save lives, turning Ghana's daily trash into a solution for one of its deadliest. There's more in this report.
Every morning in Ghana's Ahafo region, smoke rises into the sky. It comes from charcoal stoves and firewood fires. For millions of families, this smoke is how food is cooked, but it is also slowly damaging their health. In Nkwanta, cooking with firewood is not a choice. It is a daily struggle for survival. Here is a food vendor, Gloria Obing. Sometimes they tell me to halt working close to the fire, but I can't stop. I stay off for some months. According to the World Health Organization, smoke from firewood and charcoal kills millions of people every year. Women and children suffer the most. Just a few kilometers away, another problem is growing: waste. Nicholas Efriye is a sawmill owner.
So that's the Yankasa and Fanya. This will be a Macolani Shibidi no be here Cradia Gusso.
We don't use the sawdust for anything unless my apprentice uses portions to burn charcoal. Researchers from Ghana and Germany studied energy use in Sunyai. They found large amounts of unused biomass, waste that can produce clean energy. Professor Nana Safwa Jimandechi was one of the researchers.
We realized that we have about 95 tons of waste that is generated in Sunyane per day. So we have huge potential for waste to energy. Come to the realization that we have also enough forest waste, being sawdust, offcuts, and all of that, which can also be used for electricity generation. And then also, we also have some substantial amount of biogenic waste that can also be used for biogas, production. The energy generation depends on the quantity of waste. So when you have huge waste, definitely you could be able to make out a lot of energy as well.
Professor Dechi also talks about how the system would reduce deforestation.
Yeah, so for the deforestation, because you are not going to cut trees from the forest, and then you are using waste resources, then you are keeping the forest intact.
Renewable energy lecturer at UNE, Dr. Gifty Sewa Mensah, says organic waste left to rot releases methane, which is dangerous for the climate.
So if you are looking at greenhouse gas emissions, then it's not good to leave organic waste in the environment. Why? It decays and produces methane, which is like 20 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So when we take the approach of waste to energy, where we convert the biological waste or the organic waste into energy through conversion technologies like fermentation or anaerobic digestion, what we do is that we avoid the methane emissions which would have been produced if we had left it in the environment to just rot and produce the methane. If, for instance, we take garden wastes, forest residues, and then we use it to produce things like pellets, which can be used for cooking in clean cook stoves.
Clean energy from waste means less smoke, fewer hospital visits, and safer homes. Experts say Ghana already has the solution. What is missing is action. Precious Semevo, Sunyai.
This story is brought to you by JoyNews in partnership with CDK and
Aquafresh Limited, producers of Calipo and Fratelli, have donated products to the National Chief Imam at the start of Ramadan, aiming to support him during a period when many people seek his guidance. There's more on this report.
Head of Sales and Marketing at Aquafresh Limited, Shantos Kashari, explained in an interview that the donation builds on the company's initiative from last year. Recognizing the season's significance for Muslims, he expressed hope that the community's prayers will help sustain peace in the country, describing the contribution to the National Chief Imam as a small but meaningful gesture.
It is just a continuation of the last year. Last year also we came here and we felt that it is a great privilege and the honor to come into this auspicious month, and I felt that Ramadan is a very auspicious period of all the Muslim communities in the entire world, not only in Ghana. And I believe that we should pray for not only Ghana, for every Ghanaian, the mighty Allah can bring the peace and the prosperity to everybody's life. And especially I always pray that Ghana must have some peace and the prosperity so that Ghana keep on developing. And that was the purpose only we came here, to just a very small gesture to show from our company side, Aquafresh Limited, and I felt that it is a great privilege. That's why we came here.
Speaking on behalf of the National Chief Imam, his spokesperson Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu noted that the gesture is highly appreciated. He added that many people seek the Chief Imam's attention during this period, hence really grateful for the donation and prayed that this act would pave the way for greater blessings and prosperity.
And what they have done is also to show solidarity with the Muslim community. They know that around this time the Chief Imam has a lot of dependents. In fact, they depend on him, even what to use in breaking their fast. All of them troop here every evening to come and do so. And so this comes to augment the little resource that he has, and is able to extend kindness to this. And so it's also make popular this practice of being kind in a season of devotion like this one. So that every Muslim, every company, the door is open for you to come and express this kind of love compassion and gesture, to a community that is devoting itself to fasting and praying for the nation also.
It's less than 24 hours to Valentine's Day, and conversations around love are taking center stage across the world. But in Kumasi, sale of gifts have dwindled as many vendors anticipate last-minute trading. There's more on this report.
Once a year, the ama, and pressure, and person may packages more wonderful. People
are making packages for their loved ones, so I'm pressured to produce more. The sales from last year was better.
And compared to last year and this year, I think say last year no nanko for approaching tema better to no man 10, but I think say we no more change Caribbean last minute. On better. See, I think say last year no. Okay than this year.
The market trend changes every year. We normally bring varieties of items during Valentine's Day. The teddy bear is usually bought at all times, but during such times, we normally add chocolates, other gift accessories.
Last Valentine's Day was better because I think this year bakers need also. So business compared to last year is a bit slow, but then we are still intaking orders. We'll be closing orders by tomorrow evening. So,
last minute business we are waiting for them. Some people prefer to buy things late.
Wednesday na ni wedi konna Saturday kwa de ni open yakura unhue wa osha Wednesday ni mana buswa open local foreign buswa ha say bebre
last year we had a lot of people coming here.
Last year dem hu so.
And while gifts and grand gestures dominate the season, music continues to shape how we express our deepest feelings. Michelle Latte takes us through these songs that have captured feelings, told stories, and connected generations in the most intimate ways.
Valentine's Day, a time set aside to celebrate love, affection, and the bonds that connect loved ones. For some, this feeling is best expressed through heartfelt gestures and shared moments. But others choose to ride on music to express these deep-felt sentiments. As February 14 draws close, we'll take a look at some timeless Ghanaian songs that capture the whispers of the heart and tell stories of love across generations. We begin with the legendary Kojo Entry and his timeless hit, Medofopa. With its soothing melody and gentle high-life rhythm, the song celebrates tender love in its purest form. Over the years, it has become a favorite for couples, a soundtrack that sets the mood for romance. Next is Dada KD's Fatia Fatankruma, inspired by the historic love of Ghana's first president Kwame Nkrumah and his wife Fatia. The song celebrates endless love and perfect harmony, praising a woman's beauty and unmatched charm, declaring her the ideal partner. Lastly, we have Opia by Akwabwa featuring Sinaso. The soulful ballad honors an irreplaceable and unconditional bond, with the artists declaring their partner as the one and only meant for them.
say I don't pay.
As Valentine's Day approaches, these songs remind us that love, when connected to the rhythmic chord of music, never really goes out of style. For Joy News, Michelle Lati.
Melodious tunes there. Well, I can't wait for Valentine's Day tomorrow, but right about now we take a break. Business comes up later.
You're welcome back. It's time for business. I am Michelle Ejekum, and now to our stories. Now, the Ghana Statistical Service says the current inflation rate accurately reflects economic conditions on the ground. Now, this follows concerns over the sharp decline in inflation from over 20% last year to 3.8% in January, with some observers questioning the credibility of the figures. However, speaking on PM Express Business Edition, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu maintained that the data reflects actual market developments.
There is only one body in Ghana, which is the Ghana Statistical Service, that goes around all these markets, in all these regions, in all these outlets to collect the prices. So, all other things being equal, an individual or a body that has not done this exercise cannot claim to have data which is better than the data the Ghana Statistical, especially when the Ghana Statistical Service is observing all the ethical standards. I just walked you through the processes, we use to collect the data and all that. I don't know if you get the point I mean. Exactly. So I think there's a lot of illusion, and we should take our time to understand, how inflation is interpreted. Let me give you another example. Do you know that sometimes somebody's cost of living has worsened? Yeah. And because the cost of living has worsened, and you say, oh, inflation has come down, I say, how? But inflation has come down. So, but my cost of, you say inflation has come down, but my cost of living has worsened. Yeah. So your numbers are not right. So I tell that person that, look, inflation is not cost of living. Inflation is just one of the things that goes into the computation of cost of living. There are many other things.
Away from that, the Ghana Investment Support Program has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening Ghana's private sector through strategic partnerships. At a recent engagement with the Ghana Investment Support Program and Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, they highlighted the significance of their collaboration in boosting investment and supporting small and medium enterprises.
And team lead for the Ghana Investment Support Program, David Tete, speaking to Joy Business at the event, emphasized that the partnership is designed to improve investment readiness among SMEs and enhance access to finance within Ghana's business ecosystem.
Let's say we are tackling an ecosystem problem. Many SMEs complain about access to finance. We've got many funds on the other side that say there isn't enough deal flow, or they don't see enough deals that they can fund in Ghana. So we are sitting in the middle, trying to unlock capital to funds in Ghana, building the bridges. So we are working with transaction advisors, helping train them so they can also go to SMEs and help them to become investor ready to attract the capital. So we build bridges in Ghana between capital and SMEs. Now, the more funding we get, the more SMEs we can serve, the more capital providers we can serve, which means the more deals can happen for SMEs.
Head of Cooperation at the Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, Magdalene West, underscored the importance of the collaboration, describing it as a key step towards strengthening Ghana's private sector and promoting sustainable economic development.
This partnership is an important additional element in our cooperation strategy, which is we want to drive the private sector. We want to support the private sector. We want to create jobs. We want to add value to the country. So this is an important element because many of the businesses, I meet a lot of them, they really struggle with access to finance. So they don't get funding, and there is a lot of money out there, but there is really this gap between the investors and the businesses.
The GHISP-SECU partnership is expected to further deepen Ghana's investment ecosystem and create more opportunities for small businesses to scale and thrive.
That'll be all for business. I am Michelle Ejekum. The small business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more after this break.
Thank you for staying. I am Loisha Ladeyemi bringing you the entertainment news. Let's get into our stories. Now, anticipation is building among gospel music lovers across Ghana as preparations intensify for Awake Experience 2026, hosted by gospel powerhouse Dinah Hamilton. Adding to the excitement is the arrival of the international worship leader Ntonkozo Mbambo, who is in the country ahead of the much-anticipated worship encounter. Now, the celebrated South African worship leader was met at the airport, where she shared the joy and expectations ahead of the highly anticipated program, and also set to take place over the weekend.
For many worshippers, Awake Experience has become a key date on the gospel calendar, a gathering known for deep worship and spiritual renewal.
Kept by the power of God. We are kept by the power of God. Yeah. Day by day, I was made, kept by the power of God.
The excitement heightened with the arrival of Ntonkozo Mbambo, who was met at the airport and shared her expectations for the event.
We are kept by the power of God. We are kept by the power.
Ntonkozo says she's looking forward to reconnecting with the Ghanaian audience and ministering through worship.
I think what people should expect is just the presence of God. That's what Awake is all about. That is what this experience is about. It's about dwelling in His presence. You know how Scripture says that in His presence there is fullness of joy, and everything that you need is in the presence of the Lord. So that is what we're bringing to the Awake experience this year.
Host of the event, Dinah Hamilton, also expressed her joy at having Ntonkozo Mbambo on the bill.
I am very excited. Listen, Ntonkozo is such a blessed woman. Just beautiful inside out. When I say inside out, you need to hear her voice note and your heart is at peace. There's just reassuring messages, very firm. It's just, and I'm just excited about.
She's encouraging Ghanaians to prepare their hearts and make time for the worship gathering.
Listen, this year the theme is dwell.
Yeah.
Where we staying, where we going, where we dwelling in the presence of God is a good place. And that's where we want to be. Yeah. In the presence of God, to dwell, just to receive, just to worship, just to love on Him and be loved by Him in the presence of God.
With final preparations underway and expectations high, Awake Experience 2026 promises a spirit-filled encounter as worshippers gather for what organizers describe as a power-packed night of praise and worship.
All His words shall praise Him.
Well, moving away from that, we know that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and as it approaches, love is in the air, and so are expectations. From surprise gifts to carefully planned moments, couples are weighing what truly matters on the day of love. But one question keeps coming up: should your partner surprise you or simply ask what you want? Today we hit the streets to hear directly from Ghanaians about their Valentine expectations and whether romance is better delivered as a surprise or through clear communication.
What I believe is love doesn't cost. So I don't really expect anything from her, though, but maybe a wish or a message from her would be good to me. Oh, I expect anything special from my partner tomorrow. Anything at all. I also have a wish. Have something good for him tomorrow, for her tomorrow as well. But I think the whole point of gifts or presents is to catch your spouse or the person in a relationship with by surprise. Okay, so surprising me is ideal. It's ideal for me. It's the feeling is much better than knowing the exact thing that I'll be giving. It kills all the vibes. Anything she feels like giving me, she can give. I can't force it, and it's optional. maybe she might not have the money to surprise me, and I wouldn't force her to do that.
Because birthday, yeah, possible say, like in Pambaka say, say, I love way into the wood face. What the man in Paris with the hair, now what I'm on. Person, you can't surprise him because I love Max. Bibia will be another surprise. Men tell my this answer.
I'm a Muslim, and we Muslims, we don't celebrate that birthday, anything like that.
I expect him to surprise me with gifts. Even sex, I'm okay.
A lot of people are gearing for tomorrow, which is Val's Day. Mami Esi has told me that she has loads of gifts from, Happy and Babe. So, do you want to share with me? Because I'm gnashing. You know what gnashing is when you don't have a Val's Day?
I don't believe you. One, yes, I don't believe you.
Eko says you buy me lunch and give me food. So.
Eko, it's not your Valentine. We all know you have a Valentine for tomorrow night, so don't lie to us.
Well, we live to see tomorrow.
But I'm hoping for a surprise, hopefully. I mean, anybody who loves me out there and wants to surprise me, I'm open for it. But that'll be all for this afternoon's bulletin. We're grateful for your company. Have a good afternoon.